Hey everybody. I told y'all that I would come live to talk about the video, um, the ugly truth about motherhood that the young lady put out, I guess a few weeks ago or last week. I'm not certain when, but I caught wind of it a few days ago. And I thought that it was powerful, but I did find that the comments that were on her page, response to the video beneath were quite jarring. Um, there, in all honesty, there maybe have been a time when I would have had the same response. Some of them, anyway. Some of the response like, "Why did you have all these children?" Da, 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 da. But now I have a different understanding of parenting motherhood. So I just want to go a little bit through the video. If you have not seen the video, it is on my main page, Cecile Edwards. I don't remember if I shared it um, on the Mommy Evolve page or the other pages. But she brought us some very valid points, some very interesting points. And if anybody saw it, please feel free to comment and let's converse about it. So one of the things she said, in the beginning, of course, she seemed frustrated. She started crying. And one of the things she said, I'm looking at my notes, y'all. One of the things she said was children didn't ask to be here. And that is a common phrase that you hear. That's something that I used to say a lot. But now that I have a different understanding about energy and life, I know that actually our soul does ask to be here. But the question is, as a parent, do you understand if you subscribe to that thought that children didn't ask to be here, then chances are you are going to be frustrated, tired, et cetera, in parenting because most likely you're trying to force your will and force things in your from your understanding into parenting as opposed to flowing with the nature of life through parenting and having a universal understanding of life and using that as your guide, right? So if you don't have that understanding, then you're probably going to, um, then you would ask, why did they choose you as a parent? Why did your children choose you as a parent? And when I look into things, of course, I look at things like astrology, past lives, and all those things. And I highly encourage mothers to do the same because it will really make your motherhood smoother, easier because you won't be guessing or you won't be frustrated and thinking that you are failing or all of these things that we think about parenthood or our motherhood because we have no guidance or we feel like we have no guidance. There's a lot out there, we just don't have it, we don't know it. So that first point that she brought up I thought was interesting, and that's a point of conversation, that the children didn't ask to be here. They did come through, our children do come through us, and they come through us for a purpose. They come through us to teach us something. And I know, for example, that my daughter came to heal the mother wound issues in our family, right? Because she's only 10, but she brings out some very powerful things that I have to stop and look at and think about more deeply in order to heal myself and heal further. Not only that, but she has her own destiny. She has whatever it is that she's here to fulfill and to heal so that she can be the best person she can be as well. So they have the entanglement with you, and then they have their own soul's entanglement, which is, it goes together. She's also said in the video, also said that, it's only going to last so long, that the stress that she was going through was only going to last so long. And the first question that came to my mind was, well, how long? Or what is the proactive approach to making it not last? Or buffering how it's going to last? Because I really don't believe that motherhood has to be difficult. I do believe, though, that because of the society that we live in, it makes it difficult because it doesn't honor the process of raising children. Right. So you have mothers who are running around, going to jobs, thinking about having to pay all these bills, doing all this extra stuff, and then attempting to nurture the mind, spirit, and body of children, a child or children. that's a lot of stuff to do. And a lot of times the job that you're doing is out of alignment with your purpose. All of these things are out of alignment. You may not have a supportive support system or even a supportive spouse. Unfortunately, there's a lot of women who either have no spouse or don't have a supportive spouse that knows how to assist the process and the flow of raising children. And, I think that when we go into motherhood with the understanding that we need a strong support system and that we need to choose our mates, whether we choose to stay with them or not, because people co-parent and aren't together all the time. That's definitely possible. That we need to either go into the situation of having a child that way or release ourselves from feeling like we can't ask for help. And I know not asking for help is difficult because I used to struggle with it in terms of feeling like, if I ask for help, then I owe people something, or, not wanting to be rejected when asking for help. That was a huge thing because I've heard all kinds of responses to me when I asked for help, about how they didn't assist me in making the child, so that there was no, expecting help was not um, valid, or was not like, why are you asking me for help type thing. Um, but it was not until I realized the power of a network that could support me and understand me, as well as my own extension of support to others. Because a lot of times if we don't have children, we see women with children and we're like, ugh, we don't want to deal with that. And I saw that this young lady, she was on there talking and her friends were responding, just saying, oh, are you all right? Okay, well, my question was always, what's next? Is there going to be a plan of action where some of you are going to come through and be like, all right, on Wednesday evening, I'm going to help you take care of your kids just so you could sleep? Listen, just getting some sleep is powerful. Or I'm going to be more present so that the children see me as a support as well, because that's a whole different thing than a babysitter coming through. When you have an actual village of other people that could come through and the children respect them equally as they respect you, they listen to them equally as they listen to you, that's a different energy around having those children, around those people. And so, the conversation that she had was very real, and I felt for her. And I've had those situations where I've had breakdowns as well, and cried and been frustrated and just didn't want to be bothered. Um, and I'm thankful that her child's father came through. I don't know if he was the father of all of the children or just, some of them, but he did come through. And it made me wonder whether or not, she's ever asked for help, or do people offer the help again, right? Because I can say honestly now that I'm very offering of help to women with children, and extend the open the door for saying, if you need me, please do call on me. Or if I talk to them, like, do you need anything type thing. And I know it's very difficult for a lot of us to let go. And, she spoke on that in the video. We don't want others to watch our children. We don't trust people with our children, et cetera, et cetera. And that's understandable. However, I feel like we have to build those bridges and build those forts in order for us to really be able to get the kind of care that we need through parenting. Even if it's just being able to, again, it doesn't have to be anything fancy. If you know another mother that has a child, and I do this all the time, let your children come together and they play, and you and the other mom or moms are hanging out talking. Allow someone to babysit all of the children so the other one can go out. Pay for a babysitter together so that both of y'all can go out. Something. But the village is powerful. We need to look at the village, and we need to build the village, and we can start building the village from wherever we are. We just have to look at the people that are around us and start to ask for more help and really have a candid conversation. And I'm hoping for her sake, that that was something that was broached and something that she could do with the people who are around her and really create a plan of action. Because 4 children under a certain age, that's how many she has. She has 4 children under, and they're stair step children. I can't even imagine, the level of stress that is there. So she also talked about why is it the mothers and men get to walk away and women feel obligated. Yes, that is, first of all, it's a vestige of our society, right? When we talk about parenting, everything leans heavier on mothers, right? So you don't hear a man saying, "Oh, I gotta leave work early because the children are sick." A lot of times, I'm not saying all the time. I know, definitely know situations where the man takes equal responsibility, if not sometimes more responsibility, just because the mother, for whatever reason, may have her own business and so can't leave certain situations. Um, but uh, that is a vestige of our society. And so I say that that is a conversation that you need to have prior to having children, during pregnancy, even, broaching the conversation now with your partner and understanding why that is. Sometimes it's temporary. Um, Sometimes it's just the mentality, and that's the difference. Sometimes it's temporary and it's something that, the family is just going through, where the mother just is with the children or child more, or sometimes it's the mentality behind the union and understanding of taking care of children. And that's something we have to get to the heart of in order to deconstruct and clarify things around and create a plan of action, because anything can be worked through as long as the parties are willing to work through them, right? So, why is it the mothers? You know, well, the mother is seen as the nurturer, the one who is supposed to be on the forefront in this society, anyway. Because when you look in indigenous societies, everyone was responsible for the children. Everyone, right? Yes, we knew who your mother was, but you couldn't go around someone else and decide that you were going to do something that didn't uphold the standard of the community, right? And so we have to get back to that village mentality, not only so that mothers can get a break, but so that the children can have a variety of people um, who are giving them instruction, and they're able to respect a variety of people, and they can also have a variety of people that they know have their back, right? And who can teach them. A lot of children can't take instruction from anyone but their parent, their mom or their dad, because their village has not been engaged, and um, that can be dangerous on some levels. Okay, so there's so many different things that she said. Um, when she kept on saying that, she didn't expect for the dad to be there, which is quite telling that she didn't expect it. Um, and I think that maybe, again, just part of the mentality of the society that we live in, that the men don't come to the rescue, but they can. We have to ask more, I feel. And sometimes not just, depend on the relationship you have with the father, not just the father, but you can ask other men in your community or other women in your community again. And there should be a conversation, in my opinion, between her and the father as to why she did not expect him to be there. That's an interesting statement to me, that she kept on saying that she did not expect him to be there. Because I expect my husband or my child's father to be there, especially if they're seemed like he was close by or whatever. So that's a point of conversation, because it's difficult to know. I don't know how old the young lady was too, so, or how old the parents are, period, but that may be a something that affects the conversation also. So let's talk about the comments that were in the the responses. Did anybody see those? Anybody have any comment to say about it, or did anybody even see the video and have something to say? Because some of those comments were like, "Oh, well, you shouldn't be having children. You should know how to take care of them." And this woman was clearly in absolute distress. And instead of offering tips and tools or things to assist her, there was a beatdown. And that's very troubling to me. And it shows to me that people don't take mental health seriously and are very reactive to and very hard on women. And dare I say that I think because she was a young Black woman, the conversation was different than if she would have been somebody else. Dare I say? Okay. So we have to think about that as well. You can't blame no one but yourself because you had them. It's something that she said as well, and that's very important for her um, to take responsibility, right? But that can go even further in the decision to have other children. That could go further in decision to find ways to take care of yourself. That can go further into taking the responsibility for your financial life, right? Because they're already here. So now, again, what is the process to assist you being the most successful through your parenting? It's not a sentence. It's not a death sentence. It's just something that she can learn through. So for me, my advice to her would be to gather up her support system and create a plan of action. Create perhaps a way, taking some parenting classes to improve parenting skills for mothers who have multiple children like that, and how to manage as best as possible. Um, being able to talk to the support system. I would highly recommend, her getting a coach. One-to-one coaching is a coaching program that offers free coaching for women, and it's an excellent program. I did it. If you have a certain socioeconomic status, they will definitely assist you. I would highly recommend, just having someone to talk to on a regular basis. That can save your life, especially when you're stressed out and frustrated like that. That doesn't just go away. It injects itself into the way that you speak to parents, the way that you think about yourself, how you just everything about your demeanor. Stress, frustration, lack of sleep, all of that affects you deeply. Just not getting enough sleep alone slows down your brain functioning in such a way that could deeply affect you and your children in terms of your reflexes, your ability to think straight, et cetera, et cetera. You could go ahead and look at the research yourself and find that. So that is no joke, So assisting a mother, one kid, two kids, or how many of her children she had, and just getting enough sleep will assist tenfold, right? Um, I've said it before that I need, a year or two off of being a parent, because we do make it look easy and we do make it look good. But the truth of the matter is that when you asked us what we really needed, would you be able to even offer it to us? Would you be able to offer us that year, few months off that we need? Because that's what we need a lot of times. Or we need, time intermittently to be able to take care of ourselves, to be able to go and just be alone and just think and not have to be worried about, what somebody else needs. Just think about what you need only. That is what a lot of mothers need. And, if you are in a family where a woman has children and you're the only thing you're doing is judging everything about the way her children may look or their hair may be, or et cetera, then you're doing her a disservice. If the children's hair aren't done, offer to get their hair done, their hair cut, or braid their hair. If you're a mother and you know you need the help, ask for it. Ask for it. And don't wait until you've piled up so many responsibilities and so much stress and then and then ask. Make sure that it's a consistent part of your care of yourself. Like, call your sister over and be like, all right, sis, can you please, you know, watch the kids for 2 hours on Saturday so I can go to a movie by myself and just decompress? Pull in your support system, whoever it is. If you don't have a support system, find someone to talk to. Find ways to shift the energy, to get out that energy that you have inside of you, to do things that are for you. Your children will understand because they'll see the difference between a well-rested mother and a not well-rested mother. They'll see a difference between a mother who is expressing herself and her own magic and her own strengths, between the mother who is just living for someone else, namely her children. You have to bring you into your parenting. It's not all about what the children want. If you're allowing the children to just run things, then you are not, then you don't have a what's the word? You're running on like autopilot. You're letting somebody else run it, right? You're not allowing your own wisdom and years of understanding and those things to interject into the way that you parent. You're allowing the society's ways of what society says is good parenting run your parenting. You're not able to give the children what they need because you don't even know what they need, because you're trying to inject what it is, again, that you think you should be doing. Parenting is going to be different for many children, and parenting should be progressive. Motherhood is a revolutionary act. I say that all the time. I've been saying it for years. Right? And it's a revolutionary act because with each child, you get to revolutionize the way you see growth and development, the development of the world, the development of your family, etc., etc. The way that you teach your children can literally make or break the world. You get that opportunity, and you do not need to do that under extreme stress and duress. So if you're a mother and you feel like, you're losing control, take a step back, look at your support system, have candid conversation with them about what they can do to assist you so that you can take that time to take care of yourself. If you're someone who has children or don't have children, women with children, make a concerted effort to ensure to check in on one another, to share tips with one another, to share ideas with one another, to come together and work together. It's critical. It's critical. So I wish that young lady well. There's so many other things that I could say, but I'm going to get on out of here. I do have a book coming up called the Mommy Magic Handbook. And that book is going to give a lot of tips and tools for self-care, for mothers, self-care and healing, for intergenerational growth and wellness. And so that will be coming out in the next few weeks, hopefully before Mother's Day. I'm working on getting it edited and the book cover and all of that. But I hope to see you and have a discussion with you in your city about it, because I am going to be doing a book tour and coming around and talking to women about it. So that, and then of course you can visit my website. I have coaching slots open through the week for any woman that may need to talk to someone and to get tips and tools on how to center themselves. I work with women who have, 4, 5, 6 children, and practicing more self-care and being able to parent more effectively in their parenting. Or somebody with one child, or somebody who's thinking about having children and are not sure about who they are, and they need more clarity around that in order to bring that into their parenting more powerfully. Okay, so It was a pleasure speaking to y'all, and I will talk to you soon. Peace. This is Cecile Edwards of Mommy Evolve, and I will talk to you soon.